Welcome to Balcony Views with BJ, as some of my favorite YouTubers might say. As you can see, well, maybe you can't. Little foggy here in Alaska. We're in the Pacific off the coast of Alaska. We did an Alaskan cruise on Ovation of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. We've had a great time, and this is going to be one of my excursion videos from my excursion series, or however you want to call it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. And I apologize if it's a little windy. You know, it kind of is that way up in Alaska. Although, this cruise, we have had a great weather. I mean, this is really probably the first day that was really a little questionable. It's a sea day, kind of what do you expect? But yesterday, when we were in Ketchikan for the excursion, it was 75 degrees. And I don't know if you know much about Alaska, but that's pretty much summertime there, and it is early May. At any rate, the excursion we did was the off-road UTV safari, craft beer, and Dungeness crab feast, meal, whatever. You get the point. So we get to go in on UTV, which was their Yamaha Wolverine 4x4s. We had a great time. Actually, before we even got to that, it's about a 35-minute ride from the port up the mountain. That was a bit of an adventure in itself. We had a great driver. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember his name, but he was a great guy. We talked a lot on the way because the van was full, and he let me sit in the front, so it was kind of fun. Well, in some ways. I'm acrophobic, and we're getting close to the mountain, and halfway up, it's all paved, so it's great. But then it gets kind of bumpy, and it's paved, but it has gravel on it, and it's got a lot of potholes. And as you hit that gravel and potholes, you kind of slide around a little bit. That was a little bit unnerving. That was a ride unto itself. But we had a good time. We got there, and then we got to go on the UTVs. They were pretty fun. This is, I think, the fourth one I've done UTV-wise. And we had a really enjoyable time. It was just me and my daughter on this one. My mother and brother took another one. They did the Eagles Lighthouse and Totem Tour, and they said it was great. I actually put Mom in one of my videos, my very first guest, and she tells you what it's like, and I hope you watch that and enjoy it. Maybe I'll tag it at the end of this or something. But at any rate, back to the UTV tour. We had a great time. Fun trip going up the mountain in the UTV, rocky roads. We got about 25, 30 miles an hour in the UTVs. We went all the way up to a place called Mahoney Lake. I think it was Mahoney Lake, I hope. I'll research it and maybe I'll put it, yeah, BJ, you're not an idiot. It was Mahoney Lake. But at any rate, it was beautiful. Water running into it, waterfall off in the distance. And it was a good trip. We had a really fun time on the UTVs. 6 miles up, 6 miles back down to where you started. And then we got to get on a boat, and we went over to a lodge. And the boat ride was pretty interesting in itself. We didn't see any wildlife, but it was still fun. Tara was our guide, and she was really nice. Had a good sense of humor, a good time. So Tara from Florida, hi. I hope you enjoyed my joke about the cocaine bear. But at any rate, so we went to the lodge, And at the lodge, we had a crab feast. Now, the lodge is really nice. As we were going through the water, Terry gave us some information about the eagles and about the lodge, and it was floated because whoever purchased the lodge, well, you know what, I don't want to spoil it for you. You might want to go, so I won't tell you about that. But at any rate, we got to the lodge, and we got to have a really, really good feast of Dungeness crab, and we had a whole flight. I think there was 5 or 6 of craft beers, all from the local area. Now, I'm not a beer guy. I don't really enjoy beer, but I tasted every one. Guess what? They all taste like beer. I didn't care for them, but if you like beer, I can definitely see that it would be a great experience for you on the beer side. And then you got an appetizer of a salmon chowder. No, I'm sorry, salmon dip and a crab chowder. Crab chowder was a little spicy, but very, very good. The salmon dip, I could have had a big old bowl full of it. I mean, huge. It was really, really good. They didn't give us enough crackers with it, but it was really good. I could have ate it without the crackers. And then we got half of a Dungeness crab, and that was really, really good. I'd actually never had Dungeness crab like that before. I'd had Dungeness crab before, like at a Red Lobster or somewhere, and it was, I don't remember how it was, but it wasn't as good as that. This was really good Dungeness crab, a great experience. We had a short bus ride back to the port, because when we took the boat over to the lodge, it was a lot closer to the port, and it really was worth it. Like I said, a little expensive. If you get it on sale for the $359, I think is what we paid for it. And thank you, by the way, Mallory, my daughter, who paid for most of it, because she really wanted to do it. It was a great excursion, and I highly recommend it. I don't know that I can give it 5 stars just because it's a little pricey. At least 4.5, or maybe 4.5 orcas, or whatever you want to call it. It was a good time. Definitely worth the money. Give it a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm BJ. Those are my balcony views, and I hope you enjoy your next excursion and cruise.